What up, everybody? My mic is over here and my camera's over here. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year's Eve, happy New Year's Day. I'm all dressed up here for the New Year's celebration. Thought I would do one more live stream for 2023. My desk is falling apart. I just want to preface this. My desk is falling apart, so I had to move my mic into a different spot. Hopefully the audio quality is okay. It's in a very not ideal spot, so just bear with me for a minute. But let's see, I got maybe 2 hours to do a live stream. I figured why not? I got nothing going on New Year's Eve. Just hanging, maybe hang out with you guys for a little bit. I'm sure anybody who's got plans, it's probably not until the evening anyway, so everybody's kind of probably just sitting around hanging out. So why not do a live stream? Let's do some work on the P&B one last time for 2023. Again, let me know if the audio is all right. My mic is in just such a bad spot. I gotta take these glasses off. That was fun. That was good. I'll put them back on later. But I can't see anything. All right, so we got people tuning in here. 35 people. That's awesome. Good to see a lot of names I recognize in there in the chat here. All right, so what are we gonna do today, and what is the current status of the P&B? I'm happy to say the P&B is coming along quite nicely. I feel like I say that all the time, but things are shaping up really good. A lot of the areas that were blank have been filled in. I'll give you kind of an overview tour as we go. Well, I'll start off with an overview tour. I'm gonna hit my mic constantly, I can tell already. I'll give you an overview, and then we'll do a little bit of work up here around Grafton, because there's a couple spots that I want you guys to help me out with. 44 Willies, $5. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. Happy New Year to you. Still early. It's only 2:46 here. I wanted to stream a little bit earlier than this, but I kind of wanted to get outside for a little walk before it got dark, because it just gets dark so early here anymore. All right, so here we are. We are up at Grafton. This is the end of the line. I'll give you a quick overview tour. I filled in a lot of area around here. You know, we've got our portal, easternmost portal here. I started filling in some trees, got a lot of the background trees and stuff. This was all grid up until a few weeks ago. Just kind of spammed down some trees using the Scrapbook, which, you know, speeds things up tremendously. It's been not influential, instrumental in getting things done very quickly here. I also have been filling in the background buildings here and a lot of the scenery in the back of the town. So things are coming together pretty nicely here. The problem that I'm kind of running into is that I don't know where to stop in terms of like detailing things. You know, I want to detail all the back of these buildings and stuff like that, but I can't spend that much time. Generic Zach, $5. Put the glasses. Nah, build with the glasses on. I'll put it back on for a couple minutes. Why not? They call these blue light glasses, like they're supposed to be good for your vision when you're staring at a computer long term, but it just doesn't work for me. During a Patreon live stream, we finished up the ore dock over here, which I think looks really cool. I really liked this little scene that we put together here with this old abandoned tank and this just sort of shed storage area. And yeah, really happy with how this looks. Still haven't really taken a train through here yet, but we'll definitely do that at some point soon. Is it still possible to backdate the route to 19? Unfortunately, no, because I am in Trains Plus. And even though I'm not using HD terrain or any of those features right now, I didn't even update the map to that. It did change the build number and to 5.4. So, excuse me, things, you can't go backwards at this point. Eventually, it will be compatible with other versions of 22, but at the moment, it's sort of stuck in Trains Plus, unfortunately, and that was my mistake. We do not condone tree spamming. I'm sorry. Cardinal sin right there. We'll just fly down through the Grafton yard here. Not much has changed here. Maybe did a little bit more. I think I put down some more grass and shrubs and stuff like that around the edge of the yard. Things that still need to get done, like signaling, speed limits, track conditions, sound, like a lot of that needs to get done. but that's going to be like the last thing that is going to be done here. Continue to scenic a lot of this. I don't know if you guys remember, this scenery here was like really old, so I basically deleted everything and redid all of it. So using a lot of grass and turf effects grass and that sort of thing through here on the right of way. All right, that's enough. I can't. It's like working with like 3D glasses on. Like my eyes are just can't do it. Man, it's definitely bugs you out. So yeah, just been working on the main line, just trying to fill in a lot of the obnoxious stuff. I do that all mostly off camera, because it's not really that exciting, but you know, the vegetation looks pretty nice. I like how it's all kind of coming together. We got the nice main line here, a lot of wild land. I like that a lot. Now we're coming up towards Highland. You know, a lot of the scenery along the main line is kind of generic, but you know, I can't super detail everything. Otherwise, this is never gonna get done, and I'm really aiming to get this done early 2024. So, yeah. Up at Highland here, I've finally scenicked in the background here, filled in some of the grid there. Worked on some of these buildings and that sort of thing back here, but I'm not going to really do much more. It's far enough away from the tracks that I'm kind of comfortable with just leaving it, at least for this release. You know, these are things that I'll continue to detail as time goes on and then update with a future release. So things are coming together pretty good here. I did run into an issue. I don't know if you guys have encountered this at all. Only on like a couple of baseboards, but all of the splines had like duplicated. I think I've kind of deleted most of them. But like all of the spline, the power lines, the these medians, the road markings, everything has sort of duplicated, and I had to go through and delete like layers and layers and layers of stuff. Like, let's see if I can find an example. Like even the fences. Yeah, I think I went through and got rid of a good bulk of it, but man, what a pain in the butt that was to do. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. It sort of happens sporadically around the route and only with splines. So I don't really know what the cause of that is, but strange behavior. All right, so continuing, you'll have to excuse my cough. I've had this cough for like 2 weeks now that I cannot shake it. I don't know if I have COVID or pneumonia or if I'm just dying, but it's just brutal. I've just been pushing through it. 44 Willies has worked on this area, and he did a really, really nice job on this country landscape here. He's got a little Christmas tree farm here, a small airport with a crop dusting plane that we can fly around. And he really spiced up this area pretty good. We got a little town over here, and he did that when I was taking a break in late October when I was traveling. So a lot of nice work there. Let's see. Let's keep on going. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Did the new Scrapbook tools help? Yes. The new Scrapbook tools have been really instrumental in speeding up my build process. Just in terms, I'll show you some of the scrapbooks that I have. But yeah, I mean, just in terms of like placing down trees and even like grasses and shrubs and stuff, like I've got a scrapbook that's just flowers and weeds, one that's just wildflowers. I got a marsh one. I'll show you as we go. But yeah, 44 Willies, he worked on this area a little bit recently, helped fill that in. As we were making our way towards Huntington, I got to fill in this area of the main line. I continue to fill in some of this down here. I'm just sort of right now closing this area off. I don't necessarily feel the need or the desire to continue to add houses and stuff back here right now. Eventually, I'll probably continue to build outward. But this little scene is probably just going to be just this little scene here. And we're making our way to Mount Union. I love the farmland through here. Like, it looks really, really nice. I still have a little bit more work to do through here, but it's coming together pretty good. I did some detail work on one of these groups of houses over here. Threw in some backyards and stuff like that, which these are things that I would love to do with all of the properties that I place down, but it's not always doable, you know, especially with something that I'm trying to release. What else we got going on in the chat here? Can I smell or taste? Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's COVID. I've had COVID a few times now, but it's like just this deep chest cold or something. I've got a little bit of a wheeze. What am I going to work on after the P&B? I've got the New York Cross Harbor Railroad, which I have a DEM for. So I want to take a break from fictional builds for a little bit, so I'm going to focus on that. New York Cross Harbor is what I'm also modeling in N-scale, so I've got a wealth of resources on that. So I'm looking forward to getting started on that, and as soon as the P&B is pretty much done, then I'll jump into that. I've been working a little bit more around the paper mill here, threw in a couple more buildings, did some more detailing on the back side, still have some spots that I need to finish up. One of the things that I need to figure out is this is the wood chip unloading area. I kind of have to look up like what this should look like and how it should function. I've just been kind of avoiding it, I guess. But I have filled in a lot of the scenery back here, put in some mountain ridges and some trees. And this area is one of the areas that the Scrapbook tool really helped me fill in. I used this marsh group and whatever. This one doesn't have a name, but I made 2 scrapbooks of, you know, sort of this marshy, woodsy area, and just sort of went crazy just kind of painting that down. And I really like how it turned out. Kind of get down a little bit to track level. I've got like a little campground over here, some guys camping and fishing. Got some more little campsites around here, so just sort of like a wilderness spot to break up the main line. And then here we're coming into one of the suburbs of Allegheny, which I'm still working on. We've got this deep cut here, which I really like. That was sort of inspired by, I think it's in Pittsburgh. There's a cut, the Norfolk Southern main line in Pittsburgh. I don't know, I've seen pictures of it, but that was sort of inspired by that. So I've been working around here quite a bit. Just wanted to get like a small town sort of feel with some row houses and that sort of thing. So this has been like a really fun area to detail and work on. I've been working on that lately. And then we come up to Allegheny. So here up in Allegheny Yard, I did make a few changes. What's up, Daylight? Joe Approach Medium. I'll show you guys. I made a few modifications here in Grafton Yard. Let me see if I can remember exactly what they were. I did add this service road here that I sort of just threw down recently. I think the biggest change here is, I think on this side, there was not a like bypass track here, and I was doing some operating, I think during a Patreon stream, and or maybe it was just for fun, and I was taking a train out of the yard or something through here, and I kind of realized that if you've got a passenger train coming through here, then it would have to run through the entire yard ladder to get up to the station. So wanted to add a little bypass track, which then sort of necessitated a third yard track here. So trains have access to get into the yard from the track 2 main and also the yard lead. So we've got that. By the way, the game has been crashing a lot for me lately, and so is my computer. So if the stream just suddenly ends, it's because my computer blue screened out of nowhere. I don't know what the problem is. I'm working on trying to fix it. Another thing that I updated here is at Briar. This used to just be a stub-ended track up here. I made it into a runaround because I was doing some switching up here and realized that due to the amount of traffic here, it would be really beneficial to have a runaround. And then the last spot on the Phase 1 section that I did anything with is up here at Laurel. And for a while, a long time, some of you guys had mentioned that I should extend this passing siding here, so I finally did. So it used to just sort of terminate here with a crossover back, I don't know, somewhere over here, I think. And then you had your branch down to the Babcock mine. But I added this second track here. It needs to be signaled and all that kind of stuff, but I did add that in, so now we've got a longer passing siding between Juniata and Allegheny. So that is that. Let's go back to Grafton. That's pretty much all the updates. You can see that the bulk of the map is not, doesn't have tiles anymore, so, or grid. So we're looking good. The map it's coming together. I just have a few more scenes that I need to work through and complete. And then I can get on to the really gritty stuff like signaling and speed limits and all that kind of stuff. Let me take a peek at the chat. What's going on, everybody? I see a lot of hellos and highs and Happy New Year's. Hello to all you guys. Yeah, generic Zach. Yeah, you definitely gave me. I think I might have got it from LTG, actually. He's been coughing for the past 6 months. When am I going to make a route that takes place in time in present day? I don't know. I mean, I think the New York Cross Harbor is going to be based in like the 1970s and 80s, so that's kind of close, but... what kind of price point might the P&B be when it's done? I am not really sure. Maybe like $25? I really don't know. I haven't thought about it, but probably somewhere in that ballpark. Because chances are, if I release the route, if I release the P&B on my own website like I plan to, there's not going to be a content pack with it because that would be on JR's site, so that would be separate. So if you bought the route, you would just be buying the route. So I don't know, 20, 25 bucks maybe. I don't know. I got to think about it. I'll figure it out. I'm sure you guys will tell me what's a fair price. Oh, Barnes, you had Trains was besodding your computer too. Okay, so that's mine. That's what's been happening to mine. So maybe that's the issue. I don't know. We'll find out here because that's what it could happen. I did update. I'm in the latest Trains Plus build, so we'll see. All right, so what am I doing here? I've been just blabbing my mouth for 20 minutes and we haven't done anything yet. What I want to do today is work on this little grain terminal thing here. There's not like a ton that I need to do, but I kind of don't really know what to add or how to start this. So maybe you guys got some ideas. I could open up Google Earth and look at some samples if you guys have any recommendations for things that I should look at. But I wanted to work on this a little bit, and then maybe we can jump to something else. Oh yeah, you could definitely fish here. These people are all fishing. You got to fish off this dock here, though. That's the good spot. I like this scene. This is like one of my favorites. I did this a few years ago now. I think 2020 or 2021. Love this big pier. And then the boardwalk. Definitely one of my favorite scenes. And it's like nowhere near any track, really. It's more of a background scene, but I love it. Oh, yeah, so one of the other things that I need to do is finish off this recycling center or garbage transfer facility or whatever. Again, I really don't have much of an idea of what to do for that, so if you guys have ideas, let me know. But those are the two main areas up at Grafton that need to be finished, and I think once this garbage facility and this grain terminal facility are finished, I think Grafton might be pretty good. All right, so yes. Oh, Oak Island, North Carolina. No, there's like there's a garbage facility up in like near the Bronx that I kind of loosely based that off of. But anyway, all right, so let's I gotta find like a good starting point here. It might make sense to start at one side and work my way down. That's usually what I do. And yeah, I'm sure you noticed that they got a bunch of buildings just like sitting in the water here. These are just buildings that I was planning to use or that I would like to use or incorporate, and I didn't really have any other place to just kind of, you know, put them on standby. Grafton, I guess, would be on Lake Erie, yeah. Because I basically was saying, geographically speaking, the P&B doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. but we run east to Grafton. So Allegheny and Juniata are west. Juniata would be the westernmost end. So yeah, I imagined that we would be running east and maybe north, I guess. I don't know. I never thought about it too much, but yeah, I guess it would probably be Lake Erie. P&B takes place in like the 1990s, so I mean it's somewhat modern. All right, I gotta get focused here. What do I want to do? I should probably open up Google Earth and look at something because I'm kind of at a loss. I think my gut is telling me. Let's see. There's some areas that I've sort of been redoing a little bit as well, which I need to not do that, but I can't help myself. Like one mistake that I made was using these sidewalks here, the Yarnish ones, because they're like this thick. They're huge, and I use them all over the place, but I sunk them down, but it doesn't work very well like on a hillside. Like look how thick that is. So I've been sort of replacing them with this other sidewalk, the sidewalk 12 foot, which is much more prototypically scaled. Anyway, let's just start. Sometimes I like to just start with either a median or a walking space of some kind. But this might not actually work here, now that I'm thinking about it. So let's get rid of that. What I'm thinking is, like, I need to add some kind of a median here or a delineator. Let's see. Maybe let's... So what I need to think about is, like... Oh, I hate that. So, like, what is the function of this? Now I need to remember, this is grain... I gotta check my notes. I think this is grain coming from Briar and coming on from online in the P&B and coming here to be unloaded into like the boats, and then it's shipped from here. If I remember correctly, that's how I had it set up. Where do I have that written down? I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat remembers. I have all of, like... I come up with these, like, car movements or, like, you know, things for the industry and stuff, and I totally forget what I'm doing. Or does it go the other way? I don't know. I'm just thinking because the... You know, what is this? Are trucks being loaded or unloaded here? I guess they would be being loaded, right? So... So I'm imagining, you know, trucks would come in, they could pull through here and get loaded up. Right? Yeah, because that's probably a spout, right? Might want to lift your grain facility. Oh, yeah. I'll drop it down a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It only just started doing that. I'm not even using like the PBR textures or anything right now either. So anyway, I'm thinking, you know, trucks would come in here and they would probably go through it this way and then come out, right? So let's see. Let's think about that then. And again, like right now, I'm just making this up. So if anybody has something that's more true to life, please speak up. Oh, where's my... let's see. Sometimes I like just using the eyedropper tool rather than typing in the search, just because I don't want to lift my hands up off the keyboard. Let's see. I would imagine that maybe we would have something like this here. So let's see, trucks could come in, maybe there's a bypass here as well. Man, I love Surveyor too. It's just so handy. Actually, this would probably be a yellow line, right? Oh, that's also white. What did I do? See, I can't, my mic stand, my mic arm is in the way of my screen here, so I can't even see. Yellow single, there we go. Just a temporary solution really right now. So let's see, we can have trucks can come in through here. Maybe there's a bypass to let these guys kind of come in and go that way. That's sort of what I'm picturing at least. And then let's just copy that. And I need to switch to Surveyor Classic for a moment because I need to see the spline circles so that I know how wide to make my lanes. And you know what? Let me just go right through the full length of this. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I could just kind of cut it. That's the only thing that I need to switch to Surveyor Classic for. Let me just delete that for a second. Parking spaces for trucks. Yeah, I will definitely get there. All right, so let's see. The other thing that I really like is just that I could sort of drag a spline like just down its axes, you know, very helpful. All right, so what is going to delineate the fact that you shouldn't drive into this building? Would you put like a guardrail here? I don't know. Let's not worry about that yet. So we got 2 lanes through here. The signals on the P&B are probably just going to be, they're going to be searchlight signals, I'm thinking. I know Bill M on his original P&B would use like Form Ds and track warrants and stuff like that, which I think is really cool, but like I personally just don't have the patience for that kind of thing, so. How do I keep myself motivated? That's a good question. Honestly, most of it is you guys, for one. Always bugging me about when things are gonna get done. Which sounds like a negative thing, but it works to my advantage. But also, I'm just the type of person who does not like to have unfinished projects. Like, when I start something, like, I want to finish it. So, you know, that's really my main thing. And especially if I've, like, gotten really invested in something and have been working on it for a really long time, I just can't give up on something, you know? So yeah, that's probably how I would answer that. It's not easy. I mean, there's definitely times where I get really bored with the P&B or whatever project. Like, I know a lot of people would project hop and go from one project to another and start something and never really actually finish anything. And, like, I get that. Like, you know, you kind of just get bored with what you're working on. But, you know, I have been working on some of these projects for so long that I just can't. The thought of like abandoning it or not finishing it is, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Oops. Put that on 20. I wanted to change the radius. But believe me, like I'm at the point right now where with the P&B that like I really do want it to be done so I can move on to something else. Because I also feel simultaneously like I can't start a new project until this one's done. Like I'm dying to get started on the New York Cross Harbor or something else, but I want to finish this first. So I guess that's also a motivating factor is like, all right, I want to get this thing done so that I can actually get into the next project that I do want to do and that I am excited about. So, all right, so this looks kind of interesting. I don't know if it functionally makes sense. Let's switch that for like a dotted white line, or broken rather. And I'm kind of just like mocking things up, like consider this like a rough draft or something, you know, like it's, when I start laying stuff down, it's not always like what it's gonna be exactly, you know? One thing I don't like about Surveyor 2 is that when I'm placing splines, it wants to, or I use the eyedropper tool to spline, it wants to grab the grade, and that just really irritates me. I don't always want it to take that information. I don't need it. I want it to be flat on the ground, you know? What up, Nugget Trains? BNSF, what, BNSF 50? I think that's what your name is, right? Let's move all of these out of the way. But yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, certain projects like the P&B are a little bit easier, I guess, to focus on because they're so diverse. Like this has like the city and the country, and it's got a little bit of everything, you know? So if I get bored working on farmland, which happens pretty frequently, I can work on Grafton or Allegheny or something like that, you know? And if I want to take a break from city stuff and do like an industrial complex, I can, you know? There's plenty of different things to do. So that helps quite a bit, but I don't know. I really like bringing things to life and seeing things through to completion. So, and especially if it's like a real prototypical thing, you know, I really like, I'm gonna delete this. I don't want parking there. You know, doing something like the WKNS, that was really cool. Or like the NCTM, the North Carolina Transportation Museum. Those were really great projects because I was like looking at pictures of things and videos, and then I was recreating that. And I find that to be very rewarding. So that's one of the other reasons why I'm really looking forward to doing the Cross Harbor build next as well. Man, I'm really kind of just drawing a blank for how this should function exactly. Maybe I'm overthinking this, actually. Let's take a different... Let's get rid of this. And... Let's do this. I'm gonna do an about face here on this whole thing. Maybe I'll keep that, but I am kind of thinking that maybe this would be more This isn't really the texture that I want to use. Let's make this more of like a gravel. Like that kind of feels a little bit more like what this would be, I think. And I'm actually gonna go so far and delete those two. But, oh, well, you know what? Let me leave it for now. I am gonna delete that, but I'm going to... See, this is one of those areas that I've been avoiding for a while that I talk about because I don't really know what to do with it. And now I'm trying to, now I'm trying to actually do something with it, and I am not in any better of a headspace to know what I really want to do with it. But again, I guess this is like one of the, going back to that question, you know, how do I stay motivated? Like, this is part of it, is just sort of figuring some of this stuff out and just doing it. What I want is, there's a really good gritty texture. I think it's this one. All right, yeah, now I think I have an idea. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna use some of these grasses. Yeah, this is gonna look much better. A lot of times when I'm doing stuff like this, I just have to just start, and then like I figure it out kind of as I go, like what works, what doesn't work, so on and so forth, you know? And I think that's, you know, a lot of different projects. When you're doing something fictional, at least, like when you're doing like an actual prototypical build, you can just look at Google or whatever. When you're doing something fictional like this, you can either base it on something that you've seen in real life, or you just make it up, like, which is what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna delete these, and we'll probably, I kind of like how that how that looks. What I don't like is this road. So what I'm gonna do is, I have an asphalt texture that I've been using somewhere. Where is it? This is concrete. Up here, maybe? Yes. Asphalt texture 01 usually works pretty good. And then it blends really well with these S. Myers textures that I love so much, the city street textures. When it comes time to convert this to HD terrain and have to, you know, do all the retexturing, because you've got that 16 texture limit per baseboard, like, I have no idea how I'm gonna really go about that. I actually think I'm gonna end the road like here, and this is just gonna be sort of like a free-for-all parking area. Yeah, there probably wouldn't be a lot of trucks. That's what I was just starting to think too. All right. Yeah, because I'll probably add like a parking lot over here and so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of traffic. Just gonna do a quick save because you just never know. Auto rack facility, not on the P&B, no. Maybe on like a future edition, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, the trucks would need room to turn. I guess I was sort of in my head imagining that they would just drive to the end and loop around, but even that doesn't sound good. Maybe we can move this building, or these two buildings, and they would turn around like right here. I don't know. Let's we'll just, like I said, we're figuring this out together. Let me move these guys again. See, this is why I like Surveyor 2. You know, like I could just move a whole group of anything. Works really nicely. Just do like a rough texture here. I really like this 06, I think it is, right? No, that's not the one. O3? Yeah, I think it's this O3 texture. Yeah. All right, so maybe then, I hate that grass disappears. I gotta change the LOD on that. I really love the way that this grass looks. This is the JVC trackside, I believe. Yeah. But like the LOD, it just disappears really quickly. All right, so I'm kind of thinking, let's dial this down. Give me the grass. By the way, in case you were wondering, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it on camera. I am still using this Razer, like one-handed, where am I looking here? Keyboard thing that I have configured so to like do all of the moving, like the arrow keys, as well as like all of the hotkeys to quickly switch tools and that sort of thing. So that's kind of how I'm manipulating things really quickly. Very handy. It was like $100. Probably one of the best investments I have made while building for this game, because I always hate like on how the keyboard controls are. Like you have to kind of like move your hands around, and this helps quite a bit. All right, so a little bit of vegetation there I think is going to look good. This warehouse building is going to be basically obsolete, so I don't mind making that kind of overgrown. So let's see. Yeah, that's the ticket right there. Oops. I don't know why that just did what it did. Oh, because I went off the edge of the height thing there. Here we go. All right, cool. We're getting there. Let's maybe, what is this? So this is a store. Let's like sandwich that down here. Gippsland Grain Store. All right, cool. So let's actually let's work on this a little bit. I can't tell if these are supposed to be like garage doors or what. Let's do, you know what? Let's have a little fun with this one. I have an idea. Let me think here what I could use. What I want to do is build like a loading dock for it. So like we'll take this, let's bring it up a little bit. And I kind of did this over here. Let's use this JR loading dock. Where am I? Man, I can't tell you how many times I am working up here and I get lost. Just in Grafton. Like, seriously, there's so many tracks and it's just such a tangle. All right, let's see if this is actually gonna work. Copy that, and then we'll do, what would it be, 180? Like, what I don't want is the ramp. I might not be able to use this dock, but that might work. Let me see if there's another loading dock. That might be a little bit better. I don't want to use any of those. What I want is just like a platform. I can't really see what I'm doing here. This might work. Actually, that'll work pretty good. We'll flip it around. Let's see, let's get it. Where the heck is the spline point? Let's get it nice and squared. And then we'll just shift it straight back and we'll do something like that. Cool. I like that. Obviously, I'll have to do something on the back side too, but that's not a big deal. We could even just kind of duplicate it. Let me do... So if you go to filter... Like, I want to grab this spline. I'll show you a little trick here. I want to grab this spline, but obviously it's underneath these buildings, so I'm going to keep selecting the buildings. If I go up here to filter list and I say filter selection and I have splines, it'll only allow me to grab the spline. Or, you know, splines. So what I'm going to do is take that and then I want to copy it. Did it copy? No. What am I doing? Okay, so by holding control and dragging, I can make a copy. And voila. That looks cool. Let's try to figure out why does I gotta change the time of day here. I'm not gonna be able to get it better. It's like the lighting. I don't like working into the shadow, but there's no better option. Let's do another quick save. Yeah, we'll add some details like the forklifts, and I don't want to do a ramp. Maybe the ramp, maybe I should have done that. Let me see, because the one side has a ramp, right? Excuse me. No, because there's too many of these doors, so I would rather just grab, I think there's like JR has like a set of stairs, right? Yeah, let's see if these will work. I really love that I can key in the rotation also. That's like one of those features that I was asking for forever. This seems, well, we can lower the dock. Right, we don't need the dock to be so high. So let's grab all of these things. Ooh. I have to make sure that I grab the right things. Okay. It's not going to be perfect, but yeah, I like that. That's cool. Neat. I dig it. So we got a little thing there. I don't know what the parking would be like at this place, but let's we'll add some parking lines and we'll just sort of make this up, right? Let me grab these and I don't know, maybe the parking would go like this. Because you wouldn't want to block these kind of loading bays, right? Just give this a little bit of room to breathe here. Move that down, and then you know what? Maybe we could even take some of these. We'll park them over here. And we'll do... want that guardrail. Now you can kind of see that there's a gap here, but that's okay. I can just shift this whole spline, right? If I can grab it, there we go. You know, we got a little gap here, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave it for now. I don't know. I gotta figure out which bothers me less. I could probably hide that, right? If I just move, we'll just kind of hide it. There we go. Nobody's gonna know. Who's gonna know? They're gonna know. Yeah. Who's gonna know? We'll put another one of these guys over here. And again, I think this facility might be a little defunct as well. A lot of the places here in Grafton are a little defunct, so, you know. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Actually, let's maybe move it closer to this building, and we'll just say that it was all the same place, right? How have I been feeling lately? Sick. Like I have a cold. Nah, I'm kind of looking forward to the holidays being over with because I gotta get back into a routine and get back to the gym, doing all that kind of stuff. It's hard to do during the holidays because you're just running around so much, and when you have downtime, when I have a little bit of downtime, I don't really feel like I want to spend it, you know, going to the gym and doing stuff, even though I know it makes me feel better. It's more like I just want to relax, play some video games, watch some TV, mostly play video games. Use a concrete station platform instead. They work pretty well for stuff like this. Okay, let's see. to look around my mic stand. Did I spell it right? Platform. Man, my back is killing me. What time is it? 3:30. All right, I've got, how long have I been streaming for? An hour. I got about another hour, so let's see what we can get done. Should I look up station platform? I don't know if that would be a spline or... Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting this route out to you guys and seeing how you guys run it and operate it and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you're going to find all sorts of problems that I overlooked. Do I like your thumbnail? I can't really see it, if I'm being perfectly honest. $5 from 44 Willies. Thanks a lot, boss. I very much appreciate it. This is actually kind of a nice dock right here. Or platform, whatever you want to call it. Or this one. Actually, that might be even better. All right, so let's let's use this. Sorry, I just coughed right into the mic. Filter selection, splines. Yeah, let me grab the stupid splines. What am I doing wrong here? Why is it not letting me grab the spline? Very strange. Just delete it. So what's everybody doing for New Year's? Anybody got plans? I'll tell you my plans. My wife and I are just hanging out tonight, just staying home. I've got 2 fillets in the fridge and some scallops. So I'll be cooking those up as soon as, probably get started on that as soon as I'm done here. And then probably just hanging out for the night, maybe watch a movie, play some video games. My wife really likes playing Minecraft, so she'll probably play that. I'll probably be playing 7 Days to Die or something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to do yet. But I don't know if they're doing... If my town usually does like a little firework thing for some of the holidays, but I don't know if they're doing one for this or not. Seems a little close. Yeah, I like that platform much better. Thanks for the suggestion, John Citron. Let's work in some of these grasses and stuff too. But yeah, you know what? Like, my wife and I are always the ones like traveling and going all over the place for everything, for all the holidays and this, that, and the other thing. And this year we were just like, nah, we're good. Because we just got back from the Adirondacks for Christmas and we had to, we did a big hiked into the camp, the cabin that we stayed at. My father-in-law has a cabin up in the Adirondacks on a lake. But it's boat access only, so, you know, this time of year you can't take a boat, and the lake isn't frozen enough to walk across yet, so we had to do it's like a 2.5 mile hike through the woods, and boy was it muddy, but it was fun. It was a good time. So after that we're kind of like, you know what, let's just chill. let's relax, have a little time for us. I'll worry about putting the rest of this foundation underneath this later on. I'm not going to bother with that right now. I kind of want to make some more progress elsewhere. All right, cool. I mean, this is shaping up into something that's pretty neat. We'll populate this with some forklifts and pallets and stuff like that in a second. I just trying to think here. Let me do a little bit more texture work before I go too much further. Probably would want to... Let's do this. Yeah, I'm really excited about the fillets that I'm gonna cook, though. I cook, so I don't know if you guys know this about me. I cook a lot. I like to cook. I'm pretty good at it, and I enjoy the process. But I cook a lot of different things just because I like to experiment with stuff. But I've never done a fillet. I've cooked a lot of steak, and I've never done a fillet because I've always been nervous about messing it up and or ruining it or something like that. But I kind of feel like I've got enough practice that I'm comfortable doing that right now. So I'm really looking forward to it, and we'll see how it comes out. My plan is to finish my HO scale layout, says Golden Holden. Is a layout ever really done, though? Could you ever really finish it? I mean, you get to a point where you're pretty much done, I guess, but there's always things you could add. There's always things you could do. Let me do another quick save just in case the computer crashes or something happens. Terry Bolden, what's up, buddy? Happy New Year. Good to see you. Okay. Have you guys been using Surveyor 2 or TLR or the HD terrain or any of that new stuff that's come out? What's your opinion? What do you guys think about all that? I'm curious. I'm asking on my own, out of my own curiosity, not work related. I'd like to know what other people's thoughts are. I have not used... I've used TLR enough to make the videos that I made for N3View, but I haven't tried to do it on like a route or anything like that. So I can't really comment. Same thing with the HD terrain. I've kind of messed around with it a bit, just on other things, just to make those videos and stuff. Am I filtering? No. But I have yet to actually use it practically on one of my own builds because at this point, you know, I'm not going to update the P&B to HD terrain right now. Because it would just be too much of an overhaul at this, you know, stage. I'd have to go and retexture everything, and it would just be a lot of work. Retexture and then update all the terrain to, you know, look correct, and the water and all that. So I can't be bothered with that right now, especially... I mean, it will happen eventually, but at this point, I would just almost be starting over again, so... yeah, the next project, my Cross Harbor project, will definitely be utilizing all of those features, the HD terrain and texturing and all that, so definitely plan to make use of that. Yeah, the limited textures make me a little bit nervous, but I do like the color tinting and shading thing. I think that is going to be really cool to use, and I probably could use it here. I'm not sure actually. But yeah, no, I agree. It could. The 16 texture limit is a little scary, but I don't foresee it being too much of a problem, to be totally honest. I think, you know, in most situations, you're probably building within that limit already. You know, it's just the fact that you have to now, like, be conscious of it. But I could be wrong. Again, like I said, I haven't spent an extensive amount of time building with it, so it's hard to say for sure. All right, this is starting to shape up pretty cool. Let's add a couple more little shrubberies around here. Man, I should have eaten lunch before I sat down to do this. I was not hungry. I was like, oh, I'll just have a little snack and I'll drink some coffee. But now my tummy is getting all grumbly. Cool, I'm liking that. I'm liking it. Let's get, let's see. I've got some stuffs over here. Just grab this forklift. And I already know kind of what I want to do here. I've got one of my little box trucks. I don't know why in my head this sort of just reminds me of like a fishmonger. You know, like this is some kind of a seafood place. Now, let me think here. Would you have the forklift down here or up on the platform? I'm trying to think like how we had it at my old job. The forklift was inside the warehouse, you know, up on the platform. And we couldn't get it down to the, we couldn't get it out of there without like a truck or something like that. So we didn't have a ramp down. So where would it be more useful? I guess we'll keep it down here. That might make some sense. And I think there is a forklift that's kind of up. Right? Let me see if maybe it's one of these. I might have to search for it. Yeah. Or I might have used it someplace else. What we'll do is we'll just put some pallets and pallet jacks and stuff up there. Sort of like what I got going on over here. I'm not going to be able to grab that. I'm just kind of searching around for details and stuff that I like. The 16 color limit breaks transdem generated routes with topo maps. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Let's see, I know I've got a couple of pallets I could kind of smatter down. Forklift should be on the platform. Now, the thing is, yes, I think the forklift should be on the platform as well, but my problem with that, though, is that without one of these doors open, it's not going to feel very convincing to me, like, as far as, like, safety goes. So I'm going to keep it down here. We'll just leave it down here for now. I think I'll have to look. I think there is a forklift with the forks raised a little bit, so maybe I could toss that up here somewhere too. And I'm looking at the surface of this loading dock and I'm like, man, that would be a real pain to pull the pallet jack over top of. It looks like it's like gravel, but that's fine. And I know I've got, I hate when I go inside the building. Can't see what I'm typing here. Pallet, I want, just let me see. Sometimes I just search pallet and just see what comes up. Aluminum sheets on a pallet. Like if something looks good. Angel soft. You got some bags. Wait, what is this place supposed to be? This is grain. So maybe something like that would work. I'm usually not totally concerned about what the product is if it looks like it should work, you know, like if it's not like outwardly obvious that it's out of place. Like these probably are good. What is this? Crate 4 crates, 4 on pallet. Railroader, yes, I've been mildly addicted to it. Me and some people from my server have been playing together, and I really enjoy it. I do. A series, I wouldn't be doing a series on that. But I definitely enjoy it. Yeah, I have been enjoying it quite a bit. It's got like the right amount of like realism to it without feeling too realistic. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a game like Train Sim World, for example, that's really cool and all, but like I try to play that game and I'm like, okay, I am not a trained locomotive engineer. I don't, you know, like there's a point in like simulation games where for me it becomes too real and then it's not fun anymore. It feels like I need to have like been properly trained or like do it for a living or something like that. And I don't like that. Like I know there's people who play like flight simulators and, you know, like to have it as realistic as possible, like you're really flying a plane, but like that's not for me. And I think Railroader has just enough like realism in terms of like, you know, adjusting brake pressure and, you know, starting and stopping trains, especially steam engines. I don't know anything about steam engines, steam locomotives. I don't really like steam. It's not my thing. But, you know, that does a pretty good job of simulating it without me feeling like alienated, I guess is the way to put it. Let's see, we'll just put a couple of these over here. Well, you know, if it was a little bit, if it was more involved in that, like Railroads Online, like you have to like load the wood into your steam engine and then take the wood out of the tender and feed it into the fire, like, and keep your boiler up and the pressure and all that nonsense. Like, I can't be bothered with that. That's not fun to me, you know. But, and I, you know, as far as like on Railroader, like maintaining like, you know, coal and steam and water, like I don't care for it, but it kind of makes it have some purpose, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, I really do enjoy it. I have been having a lot of fun. I really like the waybill system, and it actually like feels like there's, you know, some need to do the switching and stuff like that. Just looking at the chat here. Do I still use JR signals? I mean, I will be. I think the signals that I'm going to use on here are the H style signals. I don't even know. I don't know where in here they would be. I think they're JR, H. Yeah. So sort of a searchlight style signal. Yeah, that's probably what I'll be signaling this with. Don't drop the invite. Oh, yeah. You guys want a Discord server invite? Let me do that, actually. I know my mods just love that. How do I do this? I always forget. Invite people. Let's see. Invite expires after 1 day. No limit. Okay. There you go. All right, so people, yeah, you guys mentioned that I should have some people working. I don't know, like, I'm really bad at adding people for sure. And part of it is just that I don't really think about it. It's, for some reason, my brain just doesn't actually think of adding people, but I also don't know what good people assets are, you know, like what are they, which ones look the best, you know, and they all just have stupid names. Like, I don't, why, you know, this male Max, he's a police officer. Could you call him a police officer? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like sit here and have to like thumb through a gajillion assets looking for the right guy standing or working or whatever, because they all have actual names. Oh, I like this truck. Ah, it's too out of scale. All right, cool. Let me do another save here. Let's move on a little bit. Let me put a couple cars down, but I think that that's kind of like a good enough start for now on that. I've just been using same thing with cars, like as people. Like I just really don't like the process of putting down cars, so I've been just using these groups of cars. Which work sometimes and not always. We'll see, they might not work here. But I don't know, just placing cars one at a time, finding the right cars that look good. It's too time consuming for me because it's like, it's the same thing. They're just not named properly. I don't know what's modern, what's not, like, just a pain. Switchback, what up, dude? What up? All right, so let's try to come down this way a little bit. We got this big structure here. No, YouTube, now would not be a good time to insert an ad. I'm not doing that. Let's try to focus on this area a little bit. What is this? Is this like a... I don't know what the purpose of this is. Is this supposed to be for like the trucks to like dump grain into? Like grain, this is a grain storage building? Yeah, grain storage. I guess that makes sense, right? Does that even make sense to have here at this point? I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, I did upgrade the track to the JR track. I need to tweak it a little bit in some places. I just did like a bulk update, so it's not perfect, but I don't really know how to get the ties to spawn properly. But anyway. Yeah. SAP parked modern cars. Do I have those? Oh, I do. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Hey, all right. Cool. Wait, I think I have used these before, right? Is it a... Yeah. I just always forget about that. Well, let's see. I would imagine there probably would be a spot for lots of trucks to park, right? I'm just now starting to second guess whether this building makes sense or not, because do you really need a big grain storage building when you've got these big grain silos? It doesn't feel too necessary. So maybe I'll just delete this. Maybe I can actually use one of these buildings instead, you know? You do a yard office type building. Well, let's get rid of that. Well, you know what? Let's not get rid of it. Let's just move it out of the way. You know, like maybe one of these buildings might be a little bit too much for this location. I don't know. I don't even know what these buildings are supposed to be. Yeah, this one is probably too much for this. There probably wouldn't be like a big factory here. Yeah. I don't love this either. So let's just get rid of that. Like now that I'm looking at some of it, I'll probably just, let's just add some ground texture here actually. And do these guys have a way in and out? Yeah. Just do a little bit of that. A little cheaty. Fill it in kind of area thing. Oh, doesn't really bother me. I really love how this looks though, you know, like it does look really good. This is still feeling really empty. I'm really struggling for what to do here. What do I want to include? What makes sense? Well, let's do this. I know I want to give a little space for some trucks, so let's just put a crash barrier here. What am I looking at here? There we go. Sorry, I just had to switch my screens for a second. Yeah, it's looking pretty good straight. Yeah, maybe some clutter would probably work. Probably not wrong. Excuse me, sorry. What are you telling me here? The configured recording path could not be opened. Please check your... Yeah, okay, I'm not trying to record. Yes, Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll leave this building here, I suppose. That makes probably the most sense. We'll add a little bit of parking for vehicles and for trucks. Maybe we'll just do the parking over here since the door is there. So let me grab the parking lot. Let's just do it to here. And I could just copy it. So we got a little bit of parking there. Let's maybe just add a little bit of dirt here. And where's my gravel texture? We'll put some, we'll do the gravel down here. Can't believe the first P&B video was 7 years ago. Wow. Yeah, neither can I. It's crazy. Is that really real? 7 years ago? Man. "44 Willies, a bulk lay down yard." I'm not sure I know what that is. It sounds good, but I don't know if I know what that is. Yeah, I should probably get some more grass and stuff in here as well. Shipping containers. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Some shipping containers. I could probably even... I was going to say I could probably grab a couple from over here, which I can't. I kind of can. Definitely not a bad idea. Let's just kind of drop a few of them. So, let's see. If we're going to do... just park these guys here for now. Steel beams, concrete pipes, steel pipes, concrete beams. Yeah, we'll just sort of fill it up with some junk. Well, well, if the shipping containers, how did they get here? You would need some kind of a... one of those cranes, right? I don't know. Are there any other plans for the future besides the P&B? Well, I was saying earlier, the next project I'm going to do is going to be the New York Cross Harbor. And that's the next project. And then beyond that, I've got the modern version of the Drybrook I would like to do. And those are kind of the two main ones, I guess, that I'm been considering. Where's those other trucks? Yeah, so I mean, once the P&B is done, it's going to be the Cross Harbor route, and then I'll see where I'm at after that. I don't know how long that's going to take. I used to be able to juggle multiple projects at the same time, but I just can't really seem to do that anymore. It's just too much to keep track of, and too much, like, you know, skewing my attention, I guess, you know. Yeah, I have seen that. I know what you're talking about, the pixels on the top. I just like I like them too much. Unless there's a different grass spline that could replace that. I just never seen any other grass splines that look quite that good, unless it's just this particular one. Do a remake of the Cajon Pass. I'm not really. I'm a Northeast rail guy. I don't really care for anything out west. Desert railroading or anything like that. Doesn't tickle me whatsoever. I like these like dense, you know, densely populated builds, cities and urban areas and that sort of thing. What am I doing? I'm kind of just like staring at stuff. I could probably like grab some of this junk, right? I'm just trying to think if I have any areas that are just like debris that I could just copy. Do I have a scrapbook? I don't think I do. No. I should make a scrapbook that's just like random debris. Yeah, these JVC trackside things, man, they just... There's not any other splines out there that have that nice mix of, like, weeds and grasses and stuff that I've seen, so I can live with it personally. Until something else better comes out. Alright. Let's just kind of get some grass and stuff over here, too. This is all supposed to be kind of overgrown. Sometimes I just have to like work on the areas that I know I can work on. It's sort of like, you know, the low-hanging fruit kind of thing. Like I have an idea for this one spot, you know, I might as well just focus on that. Alright. Yeah, debris and clutter and stuff is definitely good to do over here. I just hate having to, like, pick it all out. Oh yeah, the Zoot or whatever. Is it Z-I-U-T? I haven't used this stuff. I think I just downloaded it recently. I started to use it a little bit. It does look really nice. LOD seems to be okay on it too. Yeah, I should probably, let's use it here. I should probably use it a little bit more. Because it does look really nice. And it's got like a nice asymmetrical shape to it, it feels like. Yeah, nobody's mowing the lawn over here. Alright, cool. Sometimes you just need to just add some shrubs and grass and stuff, and that helps things. Yeah, I mean, let me think here. Let me go up to one of these scrap yards that I've made, and then maybe just copy and paste from here. Excuse me, some junk. I don't want it to be, you know, too much junk. I swore I made a scrapbook that was junk. I guess not. Maybe it deleted itself, because they only last for a couple days unless you pin them. Yeah. Denver grass seasonal. All right, let's see. What time is it? Where are we here? 1 hour 35. It is 4:16. All right, so I'll stream for a little bit longer here. Just have other things that I want to do today. You know, I could grab something like this. Oops, let's just grab the marquee. Or, wait, I could do... Just kind of grab all this nonsense. And I'll do Control C, and that adds it to my scrapbook. And then at least that's a couple of things that I could kind of splatter down. Yeah, look at this. Look at Grafton, man. This place is crazy. You get lost up here. Now, what do I do? Just Control V to paste? Yeah. But do I want... Let me undo that. Let's see. None. Texture, none. Meshes, add splines, none. Effects layers, none. There we go. On the modern version of the dbev, will CSX be the main operator? I mean, it will be on the main part instead of Conrail, but the idea would be that the dbev is still operating and is thriving and expanding. That's the idea, at least. That's my idea. Let's copy some of these barrels. We'll just sort of like put them around. Nothing like, not toxic waste, but you know, whatever. It's just piled up all over the place. Let me save that, and then we'll copy and paste some more things. What is the portal for? Well, it's the end of the line, so it's to continue train movements in bridge traffic. I know Willie's did, he did a pretty good job with one of the scrap yards. I think the one up in Vonnie. Just looking around to see if there's anything else I would want to use instead. A lot of barrels and just some junk. That's what I just copied. Yeah, I'll just what is this? Crushed cars? Instead of copying, I'm just gonna use, I just want to use these scrap. Am I gonna add texture to the sea floor? Yeah, I think I usually use black in the water. I'll take a look in a second. Let me just paste this down. I usually use black because it gives some depth. I don't know if I have, I don't think I've painted any of it, to be honest. It seems like it's all just grid. Yeah. Yeah, I usually use black underneath because it makes it look deeper than it actually is, and it also allows like, I feel like when you paint like the mud or the dirt texture underneath, it just looks kind of weird. Let's just kind of stack that back there. What other kind of crap would be here? Maybe we could put down a couple of more containers too. I don't think that that's gonna hurt. Do I get all the jointed rail stuff for free? Yes. I do, since I make content for them. But I don't even take advantage of that because I rarely operate trains anyway. But yeah, if I wanted to, I could log in and download whatever. Cool. I mean, that's feeling pretty good to me. I do like that. Let's just grab our trucks here. Let's make a copy, and we'll put a few over here. And we'll rearrange them a little bit so that they don't look too obviously copied and pasted. Like that, and then, you know, we could just sort of copy a couple other ones. Wait, do those have landing gear? They do, okay. This one does not. Landing gear is up. So let's get rid of that guy. And let's add... Usually like to add some actual trucks. So we can do that on one of them over here, right? Where's the guy that's sort of floating? Cool, that looks nice. And let's just do a little bit more texturing through here. So it's not just one cracked cement looking texture. I kind of like it being a little bit more of this gravel. Kind of seems to make sense to me. Yeah, and then we've got like our parking spaces over here, a little bit nicer. We'll add, always gotta add the oil spots in the parking area, just like this. Love that. Sometimes making, like, texturing just makes all the difference. Like, that's all you need. You don't have to do anything crazy. I'm gonna change the height of this truck though, because I don't know what this is supposed to be. If this is supposed to be like a baked in shadow or what, but I can't stand that, so I'll just drop it down a little bit. Well, I put this up for sale when I'm done with it. That's the plan. That is the plan. Am I gonna remake the Needles subdivision? No, I am not. I can't really say. It will be. I'm not touching that again, but it will be a Trains DLC in the future, and it is modified, but it's not modified by me. I can tell you that much. Cool. You know what? I'm pretty happy with how this looks, to be totally honest. Let me add maybe like a couple more little shrubberies and stuff, but you know, I don't want to overdo it in this area. It's really easy sometimes to just put in too much, and I would like to avoid that. Maybe some parked cars. Would we say SAP modern? That might be too many. I need like just a couple. Is this, what is that, is this a spline? Can you like spread this out? Is that how this works? Hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. What's going on here? What am I looking at? Oh, it's just the... It looked like the door was open or something like that. It's just the spline, whatever that is. Cars attached to an invisible track. Gotcha. Okay. You know, let me do this really quick. Let me save. Let me go into my session and just like look at this with freight cars on it, because sometimes it makes a difference too. But I think I'm pretty happy with how that scene looks. We'll take a look at maybe another spot, but I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. Yeah, I'm really hoping to get this released like in the first quarter of 2024. Is that we're going into 24? I can't make any promises because there's, you know, I'm working as hard as I can on it, but you know, sometimes things just don't, they take longer than you think. I still can't remember if it's loads in or loads out here. I cannot remember. I'm hoping maybe somebody can correct me. I want to say it's loads in and empties out, but I think I think that's right. I think these ships are supposed to be being loaded with the commodities. But anyway, I feel like something needs to go in here. I don't know what. I might need to just like sit on it, but I'm kind of okay with it as it is. Did I get the river tin from WIT simulations? No, I have not. Not yet. When it's done, it's done. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how it is. It's never really going to be done. It just has to get done enough that I'm comfortable with selling it. You know what I mean? I don't want to sell something that feels incomplete, because to me that feels like I'm ripping people off, you know? And this to me is like a project. This is this is my art, you know what I mean? So like I want it to be, you know, as complete as possible. A roundabout. I don't know if I would want to make a roundabout, but yeah, you're probably not wrong. I'll figure out what to put here. Something will go in there. Something will come to me. But maybe it doesn't need to have anything. Like it kind of looks good, in my opinion, as it is. But I guess, you know, the old theory or the old saying is you could always add more, right? You know, like of course you could always add more, but maybe it's okay as it is. Do I have an expected release date? No. Like I said, the first quarter of 2024 is what I'm hoping for, but there's no guarantee on that. It will be Trains 22 exclusive. Right now, unfortunately, it is Trains Plus exclusive, and that was my mistake. I meant to keep it in the base version of Trains 22. But as you guys know, I work for N3V now. I've got multiple installations of trains on my machine that have like different, I've got like the public release, I've got beta releases, I've got like alpha releases. But anyway, I loaded up one version and it prompted me with an update, and I updated it, and it turned out to be my primary game that I was working on. So as soon as I did that, it updated the route, and then that locked it into Trains Plus. So right now it's stuck in Trains Plus. That's not always going to be the case, but that's where it is now, unfortunately. Some of the other things I need to update with the P&B, I was looking at the Locomotive roster, and there's just way too many engines. It's way too overpowered. So at some point, I don't know if it'll be at the release of the route or not, but like, I really want to like relook at the motive power and update the roster, because right now there's like 20 GP7s and 20 GP9s and 20 GP38-2s. It's just way too much. There's not even enough room on, like, I placed every locomotive down and there's not enough room on the route to actually hold that many engines. So I'd like to kind of like reevaluate what the roster is, and I'd like to retire some stuff. Like, I'd like to get rid of these guys, the RS-27s. Like, I love Alcos, but I'm not sure if they really have a home on this railroad as it is, like right now. And then the I don't know what the other ones are. There's another, they're not here. The B30-7s, I think I'd like to get rid of. Retire those. It's an old model. You know, these are really old models too, so. Anyway, let me exit out of the session here, and then we'll take a look at the route one last time. Maybe try to work on something quick, but I'm getting really hungry, so I'm gonna probably wrap it up pretty soon. Let's see, edit route. I'm not gonna run any trains today, no. When will I do a model layout again? I don't know. I tried building one earlier this year, and I really just hate doing the layout room part of it. You know what I mean? Like building the fascia and all that nonsense. Like, I really hate it. So I don't know. I don't know. All right, so I think I'm content with that area over there. Let's I don't know if I'm gonna build anything here yet, but maybe we can like mock something up or start mocking things up just to sort of get this area put together. Is it gonna be available in Trains 2019? No, it will not, unfortunately. Like I said, it's in Trains 22, Trains Plus. So that's what we are kind of stuck with. What am I trying to do here? I want the rotation. Like, losing my focus here. Yeah, I think maybe another one of these buildings over here would look good. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking when I started building this because it was a long time ago, but I think this is some kind of, this would be a like sorting center, and then we've got like garbage going out on barges or scrap, you know, scrap metal. Like it's gonna get separated, I think is what I was thinking. But this is another one. I'm probably gonna have to like look at Google Earth or something and just try to like recreate something because I'm not really sure what I want to do here. And I also don't want to overdo it either because, as you can see, like this is already a really densely populated area, and I don't want to overdo it with more details. That's just gonna drag the game down. What would I replace the B30s with? I don't know. I guess that's the thing, is I haven't really sat down and decided what I would want to do for an updated roster. It would probably be more EMD stuff, but I really don't know. I'm not really a nuts and bolts guy, so I don't know a lot about like how, you know, how railroads choose locomotives and make those decisions, you know, and how many to get and that sort of thing. I have absolutely no clue. So I don't know. I feel like more GP units and maybe some SD units. Like we've got the SD 45s or SD 50s. I don't remember what they are. You know, we need some more road power, like good solid road power, I think. Am I going to continue the port of LA? I would like to. I was actually kind of messing around with it a few weeks ago. But yeah, that's a project that I would really like to get back into as well. I don't have a specific plan though for that, but I definitely would like to get back into the Port LA for sure. Let me see here. Just wanted to see, sometimes, you know, you've got like associated buildings that go pretty well with, if you just kind of like use the eyedropper and then just look at the assets that sort of are in the immediate area in the list. But I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to, how long have I been streaming here? An hour 56. What about some of the newer Alcos released? What are the newer ones? I haven't seen anything else. I always wanted the P&B to be like all Alcos, but there's just not enough of them out there to really make it work. Could paste some of this junk. Yeah, I really don't know what to do around here. Am I going to continue the Rochester division? Probably not. That one's probably permanently shelved. I like dense thing, like densely populated areas, and I like building that sort of stuff, but that's too much. It's too dense, and it's also just too spread out too at the same time. It's too much. It's just way too much. Trains Forge released a C430. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to look and see what's out there, I guess. I think I'm just gonna wrap this up here. Is there anything you guys want to see here before I quit out? I really gotta go eat something, and I gotta probably get started on my steaks pretty soon too. Let's just sort of fly around a little bit and just enjoy some of the scenery. I'm gonna try to make an effort to do more streams in 2024. I say this all the time, but I'm really gonna try to do it a little bit more frequently. I was really bad at making videos and doing live streams this year. I've been just sort of in this sort of state of burnout for a while. So it's just been sort of tough to get over, but, you know, as the P&B nears completion and stuff like that, I really would like to show it off a little bit more. Junietta, you guys want to go to Junietta? Oh, the power plant? I guess we'll jump over there first. The power plant is, I mean, as the video was, I think I didn't really do much else to it. I probably need to come down here and put some cars in the parking lots and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I didn't, outside of that video, I don't think I really did a whole lot. I think I filled in the background areas a little bit. I don't know if any of this was finished during the video. I did this during a Patreon live stream or hangout or something. But yeah, overall, I love this area, man. This is just a really cool spot. I'll go to Junietta next. It's kind of like weird because it's just this big power plant in the middle of like all these farm fields, but I really like it. I think it, I don't know, it looks good. And like I said, I kind of kept it sort of simple here. I mean, it could use a little bit more love, but I'm not mad about it. All right, let's go over to Junietta. Not much. Actually, no, I shouldn't say not much has changed because 44 Willies, he came in here and put in a lot of work at one time. I don't even know if you guys have seen it. But man, he came in and really populated this area. So yeah, I guess this area has changed quite significantly since the version that's available on Jointed Rail. Like, it looks nothing like this. I mean, the track arrangement's the same and stuff, but I mean, this whole city, he built this whole city and everything. I think he added this scrapyard down here as well. It's a little laggy for me, even on my like beastly computer, but I mean, it looks great. But again, this is another spot, this is another thing that like once the route is totally done, I want to come back and redo again, because like this highway needs to be updated, you know, and replaced. And like these old roads here, you know, I'd like to replace these, whatever these are. Whoops. Come on. Yeah, these are just Ashtow roads. You know, I'd like to replace these with some newer stuff that I'm using. So, you know, same thing like up along like Vonnie and Old Town. Like Old Town really needs some updating, you know, but I'm not going to do that until everything else is done. Yeah, Willie's did all this stuff. Looks really outstanding. You guys are in for a real treat when I finally get this thing out, man. I'll tell you that. But like, let's look at like Old Town, for example. Old Town is probably literally the oldest part of this route. That's still almost in its original form. Like, I placed all of these buildings here probably in 2009, 2010. Like, this is like, I updated it. One of my first videos was like me updating it and kind of finishing it off. Like, I added the McDonald's and stuff like that, but that was sort of the last time that anything's been done around here. So yeah, I would love to get in here and update these roads and maybe put some better looking buildings in here. I mean, overall, I like the layout. I like that it feels like an old town, like it's sort of like run down and abandoned and stuff. So, but like, I didn't do anything over here, you know what I mean? Like, I could give it some love, you know? This is all, I don't even know what this texture is, you know? Some of this is like really old. So, yeah, stuff like that. Like, I'd like to come back and tweak some of this, but some of the textures need to be updated and that sort of thing, but it's good. It's good enough as it is. Juanita. Yeah, as I did used to say Juanita. But yeah, anyway, so that's, I That's pretty much it, I think. I think the only other spot maybe that I tweaked recently was down here at Babcock. I was doing some operating and I realized that there wasn't enough of a runaround. So I think what I did was, yeah, I think the ladder here originally just went straight in. Yeah, you could actually see, delete that. It came in right to here, but I lengthened it, and then I think I lengthened the runaround and I lengthened the tail track a little bit. So that way you could actually pull all of the cars out and do all the switching that you need to do down here. But this is also a really old area, but I like it. Mill Creek, we'll take a look at Mill Creek, and then I am gonna split. 44 Willies also did a lot of work up here. But you guys might have seen this. It's maybe not. I don't know. It was a while ago now. Plenty o details. But again, I mean, this is another area that I probably would want to come in at this point and maybe update some of the grass assets that are used and maybe some of the ground textures and stuff like that. That'll be like a future project, you know. I also need to fix some of the track layout here because I've done some switching up here and I'm like, this doesn't quite work. But yeah. Yep, that is the current state of the route. Hopefully I'll have more of it coming out, or I'll have the route out for you guys pretty soon, but I think I'm gonna call it quits here before I lose my voice and pass out from hunger. So thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I hope you guys have a happy new year. Stay safe and enjoy the holiday, enjoy your time off, and I'll be back in 2024 hopefully with more videos and a completed route, and hopefully I'll have this in like an actual like beta pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys posted. I put the link for the Discord in the chat earlier. If you want to join, just scroll back. It's in there somewhere. And yeah, if you're interested in supporting this project or any of my other ones, consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/perchmedium. Anyway, guys, have a happy new year. I'll see you guys in 2024. Have a good night. I'll see ya.